Nice to see you again. Okay, this episode, I want to make it even simpler than the last episode. Okay, this is for beginners also. This is for guys looking to get, this is going to be about brick. The kinds of brick and the size. Okay, first thing I want to cover. All you guys and your wife, they want to get a new front in the front of the house. You're looking to pick out a brick, and your wife wants to come along. She wants to be a part of it. And then she says, I want to see the brick too. I want to go out and shop. You know, they love to shop. Okay, first thing, I want to help you guys be a little educated when you just walk into the store to pick them up, so you're not there all day. First of all, a few qualifying questions. When your wife starts to look at all the bricks, she's never going to be able to pick one out. In fact, you'll never be able to pick one out if you look at too many. First thing you want to do, how many colors? Do you want one solid color, or do you want a varying of colors? It's two questions, right? She answers one. Oh, I like just one color. It's got, you say, yeah, it's got a neater appearance. Bang. That just cuts off half of the brick right there. So you put them aside. So now you're looking for one color brick. Okay, now you say, are you looking for something that's rougher, something that's smooth? So you say, well, I like a smooth. Oh, I like a smooth. Yeah, I like a smooth too. That knocks about half more off. Then you get to the part. Oh, do you like a colonial look, or do you like a, like a new modern look? So like, yeah, I like the modern look, but I'm not sure. Say, I like the modern look. Let's go with the modern look. That takes another half. So you're down about 20 brick, right? So then you want to, basically, the questions you want to ask them, they have a choice, one or two. That's how you qualify. You get right to the point. You find out what they want. Next, you know, you're down to 4 brick. And you choose it from 4. Don't let her see the rest of them. She wants to see them. When she says, "Oh, let me see the rest," I say, "Let's focus on these 4. We want to get this done. We want to do it right." We're putting a new shirt on her that's going to stay there for the rest of the next 20 years or so on our home. One of your biggest assets. So basically, you don't want to spend all day in there. That's how it could be. Basically, you find that out. Okay, now when you get to the brick, you find one. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. The brick really isn't that important, the color or the texture. You know what the important thing is? The contractor who lays the brick. The job done on the brick. I've seen the ugliest brick I've ever seen before, done so well. It was one of the nicest homes I've ever seen. So, that's my tip to you. The contractor makes the difference, not the brick. You could have the brick size 1,000,000 bricks. They're not much different than the others. Some are a little more expensive because they're all the new black ones are modern. Everybody wants them. Oh, they're great. Brick's a brick. As far as strength-wise, and I mean, there might be varying facts. There might be some companies make better ones. A lot of things happen. The cheap, basically, the prices. There are some prices where they're just as good, but I'll explain that. But that's just a little tip first on hand from personal experience. Now I'm going to explain a few things now. Brick basics. Okay, I'm going to explain to you 3 of the most regular bricks that you're probably familiar with. There's modular brick, there's a standard size brick, and then there's a jumbo brick. Now there's a couple other ones that are getting more popular, the Norman brick, and I'll cover a utility brick. That's 5 sizes. That's 5. 5's enough. We're going to stick to the 3 though. The modular brick, the standard brick, and the jumbo brick. Jumbo modular, actually, it's called. Now, a regular brick. Now, the brick that you're used to seeing in all the homes, right? Well, the older homes, they may be standards. Standard seems like that would be a word that you would call a brick, but actually, standard is a size. Okay, modular is a size. Jumbo is a size. Modular is a size. It's 2 sizes in one. Now, as far as the main brick, your modular brick, that's the modular size. That's your regular size brick. It's 2 1/4 high. 2. 1 second, I'm gonna take too long.
Oh.
2 1/4 inches high. That's the part you see on the wall. It's 2 1/4 inches high. The length, 7 5/8 inch And the deepness, which you don't see, that's how thick the brick is, 3 5/8. That's pretty much they call it. So let's stick with basic. It's the only reason it's not going to be 4 inches, like instead of rounding up to the 8-inch by 4-inch, that's because the standard's going to explain that to you. So 2 1/4 high, 7 5/8 inches long, and I'll explain to you why it's 7 5/8 also. 3 5/8 deep, I'll explain that also. Okay, now that is the modular size brick. Got that one? 2 1/4 high, 7 5/8 long, 3 5/8 deep. That's just like what you would think 4 by 8 by 2 1/4. That's your basic look for a brick. These all sizes are important because they make these sizes so the measurements come out to where, you know, 7 brick in a square foot. Like you want to measure your house. Say it's 30 by 15. Times height by the width minus your doors. Windows usually 15 feet. Doors like 21 feet, some in that area. A bow window's much more. If you got a big bay, you subtract that. And you times the square footage you have left over by 7. 7. Got that? By 7. That gives you your amount of brick you'll need. Now, that's just as far as if you measure exact. If you don't drop any brick, if there aren't some that's chipped, it'll give you what you need. But, you know, you always get like an extra 100 or so more. The contractor usually deals with that part. Okay, let's go with the standard brick. Standard brick is all the same as on the modular. It's 2 1/4, the face like you see. 7 5/8 is not the length. It's a full 8 inches. That's the only difference. 3 5/8 deep, just the same, but it's a full 8 inches long. That's because a lot of the old brick were always 8 inches. The modulars came out because it's 3/8 less, the size of a mortar joint. Okay, so the modular brick with the mortar joint makes a full 8 inches. Now, when you get this, when you put the 7 brick into that square foot, it fits a little better, and it helps with the measuring. So they went to the modular, which is more popular now, because the square foot it's more accurate when you're measuring. I don't know if that's the true fact, but that's my opinion. Anyway, also the jumbo brick, the last one. The only difference that's then a modular brick. It's the same length, 7 5/8, but the height that you're looking at now in this area here in the Northeast, you see these jumbo brick that are a lot. They're more, you know, you'll see them more. There's like 5.5 jumbo bricks is what you need to fill a square foot. I'm explaining it to you now. The height's not 2 1/4, it's 2 3/4. So it's a 1/2 inch higher than a modular brick, than a regular modular. A jumbo modular, everything else, length 7 5/8, deep 3 5/8, but the height that you're looking at is higher. It's 2 3/4. So it's a little higher, and that's where you pick up a little less brick per square foot. It might range in the same price. You know, price is pretty much the same for those sizes. Okay, the other two I'll go real quick. Norman brick, same as a modular brick, but the length's 11 5/8, so it would be like a 12 inch with the mortar joint. It's like a 12 inch long brick that's 2 1/4 high that you see, 3 5/8 deep, 11 5/8 long. With the mortar joint makes it 12. It's getting popular with the houses when they do 5 6 in a row and they do the new bricks coming out. And the utility, I'm just going to round it off 4 by 4 by 12, but it's actually 3 5/8 by 3 5/8 by 11 5/8. That'd be your exact measurements, but it's utility. So I just wanted to quick go over that now. Remember, a modular brick, 7 5/8 long, 2 1/4 the face, 3 5/8 is the depth. So basically, that's what a modular brick is. When they say modular brick, you know what it is now. It's the same thing. It's like if you want to round it off like this and say it's a regular face of brick is 2 1/4. 2 1/4 is a brick. That's the thickness. When you're looking at the brick, the height, it's 2 1/4 inch. 7 5/8. Say it's 8 inches, but then you're going into the standard size. So I'm explaining the difference between standard and a modular basically is what I'm letting you know. There's a 3/8 of a difference. And that was to compensate for that 3/8 mortar joint. Now, don't quote me on that. That's what I think it is. I'm pretty sure. It makes sense to me. It should make sense anyway. But they keep the 8-inch standard brick around because that was the standard at the time. But it kind of didn't fit well with the measurements. As far it threw that 3/8 of an extra on each brick. So you got 7 3/8, and then it adds up if you're doing a lot of brick. You might come up a little short. Okay, I want to make this a little quick. I don't want to go too much further. Okay, we want to go with textures. Textures. You got your Bartex. That's like the rough, wavy. I should have pictures for it, which in fact I don't have them. But Vertex, straight lines, straight down. Mattex is like a matte finish. It's not smooth, but it's got the pores and they come in varying, like, you know, colors and all that. But a matte brick is basically, I use women know, like they have a matte finish for your makeup stuff. It's like it's not shiny and smooth, but it's kind of matte finish. Apply that to brick. You can do that. Okay, Bartex. That's just like the rock band from the Avengers. He's real rough. He's like that kind of texture. You've seen it all around Juniana and stuff like that. The Vertex, I don't just need to explain it. Straight lines, they're all vertical lines on the brick. Not one of my favorite. A smooth brick. That's when it's just nice and smooth. It's like nice cut brick, smooth. How much more can I explain? The colors, it doesn't matter the color. I'm talking about a smooth brick. Everybody's got a smooth brick. But, you know, like the red smooth brick, it's a kind of a standard on one color, orange, red, like a lot of industrial stuff. But homes also. Then the last one's coming up and coming. It's a sanded finish, the sanded brick. And it's kind of like when you rub the brick, it's like a little sandy finish there. It's kind of the McAvoy company uses it a lot. They have a lot of new brick coming out, and it's kind of popular because, I don't know, sanded finish is kind of it's like a smooth, but if you look from far away, but when you touch, it's kind of like a sandy finish to it. So basically, we went over 3 things. 3 brick, main brick. Your jumbo, your standard, your modular. Modular, the only difference, 7 5/8 is the length, 2 1/4 is the height, and the depth, which you don't see, so who cares, 3 5/8. So just remember this, 7 5/8 long, 2 1/4 high. That's your modular. Standard, 2 1/4 high, 8 inches long. They're on their way out, but they're still there because there's other brick they have to match. Also, the jumbo, 2 3/4 high. Is that what I said? Yeah, 2 3/4 high, 7 5/8 long. Jumbo, modular, 3 5/8 thick. You don't care about that because it goes in the wall. But know your sizes. It helps you right now. So when somebody says, "Oh, you want a modular? Do you want a jumbo?" and your wife's saying, "Well, what is he talking about? It's too complicated. He's talking all these sizes with fractions and all this." I'm letting you know now. It's real simple.
Oh.
Regular 8 inches brick. It's 3/8 less because of the mortar joint. You don't need to know why. You just need to know that a modular brick's not 8 inches long. It's 7 5/8, if you want to be exact. Otherwise, if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about when they say modular, you say, "I know what a modular brick is." You know how sometimes when they like to sound like they know what they're talking about. I'm not against them. I love them, but these crack me up. So you just say, a modular brick, sure, 7 5/8 long, 2 1/4 high, 3 5/8 deep. And they're going to be like, what the hell, this girl knows what she's doing. And they might even start thinking, I better not try and fast talk her. So maybe it'll save you something there. Also, I went over with the guys how you can do this for yourself also. Don't keep looking at all the brick. There's so many brick. You know what? Then you can't decide. There's too many to look. You don't know what you want now. You gotta do it this way. Do I want one color? Do I want a varying colors? That right there, you decide one color. Put all the other colors away. Look at all the bricks with one color. Do you want something the texture-wise? Do you want the smooth? Do you want the sanded finish? Do you want the Bartex? Do you want the Vertex? Whatever. There's millions of textures. You find the texture you want and get all the brick and them textures in one color. Then basically, you start narrowing it down from there. You want a colonial brick that's smooth, a molded brick. Colonial is a molded brick, and there's cut brick, which are nice and straight. The edges are nice and sharp. A molded brick is a colonial brick. You'll see them around. They're like the older fashioned brick where they have inconsistencies as far as the edges. Okay, it was a molded brick, and sometimes people like that with a grapevine joint, which is that mortar joint that has the line in the middle and the cement's kind of smeared up on it a little bit. You got a I'll do another episode on the names of the mortar joints. I said joints a lot of times, but I'm talking about cement. Anyway, Brett's Masonry helped that slash tips. Went over bricks today. Basics now. There's a million bricks. There's a million things I could talk about. The strength. This is for the other guys, the contractors. I can tell them, introduce them to new bricks that are coming out now. The things that are trending as far as the modern homes, and because they're building all over Philadelphia. There's some bricks that are really exploding. Like you've seen the black brick all over the place. A little pricey, but hey, if money's not an issue, go for the black brick. Give me a message. I'll tell you where to give, who's got them, how, and the availability. I'm your connection now to the masonry world in Tri-Florida. Let's just say Philly. Not even Northeast. Just keep it in this, 10 square miles, 10 mile circle around City Hall. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of people there. Okay. That's Brett's Masonry Help.tips. Again, episode 2 was about for beginners. Again, it's little basics. 2 things. Bricks. Modular. And a standard. Also the jumbo. It's a twist on the modular. But that's basically what I want to get across. Modular brick, 7 5/8 long. Standard brick, 8 inches long. Both 2 1/4 high. And the jumbo is 2 3/4 high. 7 5/8 long. It's a modular jumbo. Those 3 things we covered. Jumbo brick, jumbo modular, a modular brick, and a standard brick. 3 brick. Now, I told you enough times. If you forgot what I said, you can rewind and check it out. But the main brick, when you say brick, a modular brick is basically the main brick these days. That's what you use. That's it. They see what a modular brick, you say, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I want a modular brick? That's what everybody else uses. That's what a brick is, right? So that's basically how you would answer that one. If you want to. You can answer however you want. Okay, and I'm not getting down on these women, but I've dealt with some picky people, and I've seen how they can really talk themselves out of a brick in like a second because there's another one that catches your eye, and this one looks pretty. Oh, it matches the blind. It matches the out front. I got the mailbox with that color. It might match just perfect. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. You got to get these to keep them from happening. Don't even let them get in your head. You look for a brick, narrow it down. Find the brick you want. Usually your first pick is the one. That's usually the best pick. Your first pick, that's usually the one you want. So there's so much more to go about brick, but there's 2 things. Remember, modular, jumbo. Modular, 7 5/8 long. Standard, 8 inches long. Jumbo modular, 7 5/8 long. But the height isn't 2 1/4. It's 2 3/4. Okay, inches. I got to talk a little clearer because last time I put the closed captions and there's all kinds of words. So if you couldn't hear well, you couldn't understand what the program was about because the words are all different. Sorry, it's the way I am. But I don't mean nothing personal. I mean, I like these all. But that's it. Brett's Masonry. I'll see you next time. Next time I'm going to cover this specialty patching mortar. Unbelievable product. It's made by Mape. It's they make some incredible stuff for a homeowner can use. I'll give you a little advice on how to use it, little tips. Next you know, you'll be cementing everything, cracks on the wall. You'll be like Joe Handyman, and your wife's going to be saying, oh, you're so handy. I love it when you're handy. I don't mean to be downgrading women like that. Well, you guys, it's a real great thing. Even the women, they would love to use it. You could actually, this stuff dries at a point where you could actually start molding and carving, and like you could have a cement post top piece broke off. You could actually set it, start to mold it, and as it sets so quick, you could make a replacement part that you'd have to wait months for it to get, and who knows if it's going to be the same. And then once you paint it, hey, I've seen someone do it before, and it worked out pretty good. So anyway, signing off. Brett's Masonry, helped out /tips. Hope you guys start to enjoy my show. This I know it's going to be better. It's going to be better.